within the storm. Breathe me, take what's left of me. I lose my mind to fate, I cannot this race. Heart beating hard, erase your belief. I will destroy what's left and run away. Get with the two, harmony, the shadow in this sea. Come to the page, the curtains rising soon.
So we open on the glorious world of Absalom, a planet only a few hundred years old, decorated with vast amounts of unexplored territory. The only named continent and country to exist is known as Varun, a large area of land split into 3 different regions based on religious wars fought during their inception. These regions are Sol, a place of extreme heat and desert-like conditions, with their primary deity being Solari, goddess of the sun, power, and wealth. Next there is Winaria, a place where either rain or snow is constantly falling from the sky, with Winona the moon spirit being a common deity of worship. And finally there is Dendara, with the prime deity being Dara of the new moon, goddess of motherhood, wisdom, and healing. This is where our story will take place, but not where it begins. We instead journey into the region of Sol, to our first hero, Aviath Abaddon, an Asmer renowned for his heroic deeds fighting against great evils. So Aviath, you are currently on the outskirts of Aramor with your Fire Genasi friend, Rue. You're both sitting a bit high up off the base of the Simberry Mountains, and you both visit here often with Rue when she has something that's on her mind that she wants to talk to you about, and today is no different. The sun is setting on the horizon, making the desert sand surrounding Aramor appear to sparkle with hints of red and gold light. Rue has been silent for a few minutes now and is watching the sun set.
Woo! Aviath walks up to her, I guess, and he says, "Hello, Rue, what have you called me over here for?"
She kind of starts a bit when she sees you come over, and you see she was kind of lost in thought, but her eyes kind of brighten when she looks at you. Her hair actually, you see little flames kind of come off of it, and she crosses her legs and smiles at you, and it's just like, I don't really know a nice way to rip the band-aid off for this one, but I'm leaving tomorrow, Aviath.
You're leaving? For what reason?
I have been called for a higher purpose somewhere else.
A higher purpose, huh? A calling from God?
From Elther, yes.
Oh. Well, I'd consider that to be great news.
You would, wouldn't you?
You should go off. Listen to the voice of God. It's great that your connection with your God has gotten closer.
Have you heard from your God at all recently?
No, my God's been silent for quite some time. I'm not sure if I ever actually heard from my God.
Do you think it's the right thing to do? To leave, I mean?
At some point, every young warrior must go off on their own adventures to find their own path. You have to learn to be brave and bold and to move forward. Take risks.
I mean, I feel like I'm moving forward, but also like I'm going to be left behind if I go and you're still here.
I'm sure you'll do fine on your own, and I'm certain that I can as well.
I know you'll be fine on your own.
He kind of smirks at that. A little bit of a cocky smirk. Would it help if I came with you?
No, you can't come where I'm going. I appreciate that, though. I do.
I understand. Well, I wish you the best of luck on your journey. When are you leaving?
Tomorrow morning. And she kind of looks up again as you see the sun has fully dipped behind the horizon now.
Tomorrow morning, huh? Then I think tonight we should celebrate.
How do you want to celebrate?
We could gather a couple of our churchgoers, just, I don't know, have a fun time at my place. We could have some food, have some music.
No, I think maybe... Will you just stay here with me tonight? We can talk?
Sure, that'll do fine.
She kind of pats the ground next to her for you to sit.
He pats her on the back, but like way too hard because he's like 7 feet tall and covered in muscle.
She staggers a little bit when you hit her on the back.
I have faith in you. I'm sure it'll be fine. You're an adventure soul. You're a brave soul, and you, I think, the end of this journey will And great for you, because I know that you can come out on top of whatever comes your way.
I'm only brave because of what you did to help me.
Well, everyone needs help once in a while.
My village wouldn't still be around if it wasn't for you.
He kind of scratches the back of his head. Slight embarrassment. But he's like, well... Oh my god, what he's about to say is so cocky. He's gonna be like, not everyone can be the chosen one. But I'm sure... I'm sure you can accomplish great things. You needn't be afraid.
She kind of laughs at that, and is just like, I hope so. I hope I can. I did hear that Merlin's coming to visit Aramore in a few weeks to talk to the church about their prospective sparks, which is a big deal. She hasn't made a public appearance in, what was it, in a year now?
Oh, that's exciting. I'll be sure to meet her.
I'm sure she's coming for you. I can't imagine anyone else here would be worthy.
Well, that's quite an honor. Can't wait to see her myself.
She kind of sighs and leans against your armor and just watches the stars kind of start to form in the sky as the last of the light leaves. And she kind of glances up at you and she's just like, even if we never see each other again, I will always be so thankful I got to meet you.
Don't say that. We'll meet each other again. I promise.
Let's set a date then to make sure we do.
Sure thing. How about half a year from now?
Half a year, 6 months? That's... Sure, I think I'll be done by then.
Great. I'll see you there, good friend. Holds out his hand for a handshake.
See you where? Where are we meeting?
Good question. Why not here?
Here? This is as good a place as any.
Alright. He holds out his hand for the handshake, or he continues to do so.
She reaches out for the handshake, and then she goes right past it and goes into a hug.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's not gonna overly aggressively hug like he did with the back fat then.
And then she's just like, I'm going to miss you so much.
I'll miss you too. But not to worry, it's not the end. It's only the beginning. Beginning of a new chapter in our lives.
All right. And then the two of you sit and talk into the wee hours of the morning until eventually Rue gets up and leaves. And then you go off to your duties for the day. So we continue our story far over the Simberry Mountains, soaring over the infamous Mirror Depths before arriving just off the coast of the bustling ocean city, Greenflower, in Dendara. An elven woman waits on the shores, staring out into the sea with a look of panic as she stares at the sun that has dipped below the horizon at this point. Under the calm waters, we go deep into an underwater cavern to the lair of a kraken. Here there is a young half-elf named Chewie, sitting drenched on a stone ledge, having found a pocket of air to catch his breath in. He's been down here for hours, searching for something.
That's me. Okay. So you said he found a pocket of air?
Yeah.
And he's currently just kind of... Okay. So, I guess he's going to do a perception check. Can I do that? Or investigation or something?
Go for it. Whichever one you want to do.
Let's check his stats. That'll determine. Oh, they're the same. Okay, I'll do investigation.
Investigation, go for it.
Okay, 7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
You're looking around, you're trying to find something to try and find the item that you've come here for, and you can't really see anything. You feel like you might have to go back into the water to get a better look.
To go back into the water, would it be like you have to go down, or?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, hold on. When you say pocket of air,
so it's a little stone ledge that you're on.
Oh,
it's like at the
ledge.
roof of this cavern.
Okay. So he kind of like bounces on like the ball of his feet a little bit, and he's like, "Okay, back in I go." He's going to dive back into the water.
Okay, roll an athletics check for me.
I will. He's good at that. Yay! 22.
22?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And then I want you to roll a Constitution save with advantage.
Okay. That was a 4 the first time. Okay. Oh, that's good. It's, 18.
18? Okay, yeah. So you go with very strong strokes down to the bottom of this Kraken lantern looking around. And you've got a pretty good amount of air in your lungs right now. So you're still holding on. You don't need to rush back up anytime soon.
Okay.
And you're looking, and there's a lot of gold down here. A lot of very strong valuables that have been left here, along with the remains of more adventurous people than probably they should have been. Who are down at the bottom of this lair. They're all just bones now, completely picked clean.
Chewie is swimming past the treasure. He sees the gold, but he's not about that many. But bones, he's like, wonder how those got here. So he is going to continue looking for what he's looking for. So should I roll another investigation or perception?
Yes,
perhaps?
you can roll another investigation.
Okay. So for investigation, I got 17. That is like probably the only time he will get 17 in investigation.
Okay. So you are looking around in the water, and your vision's a little blurry because the water down here is kind of murky and hard to see, besides like the shining bits of gold around you.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost seems like your eyes suddenly clear up, and you see something kind of moving in the distance towards you and swimming towards you. And you freeze up at first because you're like, oh no, it's the fucking Kraken. But you see instead, as it gets closer to you, it appears to be a strange looking woman who's kind of drifting towards you beneath the water with a long fish-like tail with a fin that glimmers with light. And as she gets closer to you, she places a hand on either side of your face, and you feel very oddly calm as suddenly the water around you becomes as breathable as air.
He was like eyes wide, kind of like, huh? Who's this? Kind of like wonder more than fear. It was fear when he thought it was Kraken, but no, he's just wonder, and now still wonder that I can see this person. You said it's breathable as air now, so
yeah.
you can, when it's like becomes comfortable, he's like, oh wait, I can breathe. And he's looking this mermaid figure up and down, and he's like, who are you?
Hello. I am Oasis.
Oasis?
Yes. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. He holds out a hand awkwardly.
She looks at it, and she doesn't seem like she fully understands what you're doing. And she kind of just gently pushes your hand down.
He retracts his hand, and he's like, oh, sorry. And then he gives her a bow.
No need for that. I'm not the goddess who favored you, just a servant of hers.
Goddess?
Yes. You're doing your sword right now, aren't you?
I am. How'd you know that?
You should know that you always have a god or a goddess that favors you. Or something else, but don't worry, yours is a goddess.
When she says or something else, he's like, he like sweats a little bit. He's just like, looking around, and he's like, I don't see the sword here.
That's because you're not looking hard enough.
When she says that, she actually reaches down and kind of picks at one of the scales that are on her tail. And she pulls it off, and when she does, like, this, like, glowing bright string almost comes out off of it, like a flowing, almost like hair, and it kind of shimmers in the water for a moment before hardening and extending from this scale, which also extends. And in her hand, you see for just a moment this very long, beautiful long sword before she kind of waves her hand very quickly over it, and a red sheath engulfs it.
He is eyes wide, mouth open, and he's like, is that?
This is known as the Beast Blade.
Beast Blade? Can I hold it?
Of course, it's yours, as long as you can pull it out.
He takes it pretty excitedly, and then delicately kind of like just idolizes it because it is beautiful. He gets like a really big grin on his face, and he grips the hilt.
I want you to roll a wisdom save as you try and pull it out.
Okay. Yeah, he grips the hilt and attempts to withdraw the blade. So, let's see. You said a wisdom saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Cassie, you know I'm
Yes.
bad at that. You know I'm bad at it. I got a fucking 1. Not a natural 1. Not a natural 1. I rolled a 2.
Okay.
Minus
As
1.
you go to pull out this sword from the sheath, it does slide actually very easily out from the sheath, but as you are pulling it, you look up and you see Oasis kind of staring at you, and the kind of light glimmer that was coming off of her from before has gone dark, and she's just staring at you without any expression on her face, and just kind of slowly backs away from you, and the ability that you had to breathe is just gone instantly, and you are just breathing in water.
He literally, he was like, you know, as the blade was coming out, he was like super excited and whatnot, and he looked up to her like with like this pure smile, like I did it. And then she was just fucking did that. And he's like, I did. You know, that was basically as he can no longer breathe.
Yeah. And she's kind of tilting her head at you as she looks at you, and you see just that bear smile kind of start to come to her mouth again, and she's just like,
You aren't quite ready, it seems, but it was a good first try. It's still yours, but you won't be able to wield it like that.
He can't say anything. He's kind of shaking his head like, please don't go. Say it ain't so. No, he reached, like, he kind of dropped the sword for a second as he like reached for his mouth. Just, yeah, I guess stop the water from going in. Hello. But he's not very smart. But he, the sword was probably like sinking, right? So he grabs it, and he's got the sword in his one hand, and he's trying to swim back to the surface.
yeah. I want you to roll another athletics check then.
That's 15.
15? Okay, and I want you to roll just a straight con save.
Con save. 13.
13?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you swim pretty well. You almost run out of air at the very tail end of that swim, but you make it back up onto shore, where you see your trainer, Dashi, up on the shore, looking at you, looking very worried, and she kind of runs towards you as you go up onto the sand, and she leans down next to you and is just like,
Chewie, you were gone for a while. Are you okay?
He is like catching his breath, and he's just like, I got it. And he pulls his arm out of the water, holding the beast blade.
You see her eyes kind of gleam for a moment with like pride as she sees that you got it, and she smiles. But then she looks a little bit confused, and she's like,
What kind of a blade is that?
He was smiling because he was like, my master's proud of me. But when she asks that question, his smile kind of drops, and he's like, what do you mean?
I haven't seen that one before.
He looks at it, and he's like, well, neither have I.
It's nothing to be concerned about. I've seen 9 of the 10, so this must be the 10th.
He's gonna try to pull it out so he could show her some more.
okay, roll a wisdom save.
Okay. Oh, that's better. That is very. He rolled. This will make sense. I don't know how he got a 17, but it's -1, so 16.
Okay, so you go to pull the sword out of it, and for a split moment, you hear kind of like the little shing as it like starts to come out of the sheath, but then almost magnetically, it just goes right back in.
He's like, huh? That's weird. And he's like, trying to pull it out again. I'm not gonna roll
It
again.
is
but
almost like glued in.
yeah. And he's like, it's stuck.
Did you pass?
Well, there was a mermaid down there, and she said it was a good first try.
A mermaid?
I think her name was, Apis? Oasis.
You see her smile fall at that. Or not her smile, she wasn't smiling. Her frown fall more. And she's kind of looking at you and then looks back down at the sword, and she's just like,
Did she say what goddess favored you?
Mizuni? Yeah, it was Mizuni. I've never heard of that goddess before.
Oh, you poor boy.
she's like looking at the sword and then back at him, and she's like,
It's fine, they usually don't. They usually don't interfere past the sword right, but it's strange that she didn't come to see you herself. Perhaps that's better. Maybe you wouldn't have come back if she did.
He's confused, but he's rolling with it. And he's just like, and he looks to the sword and he's like, I worked so hard for this.
You did, and you got it.
He kind of looks to her and he's like, well, don't worry, Master Dashi. I'll master this, I promise.
I know you will. Seems like it's one that will take some more time than the others.
I'll work super hard and, well, maybe I'll try to take it a little bit slow.
Slow is good. You move quite fast sometimes.
He kind of chuckles and like rubs the back of his head. He hops up from the shore and he's kind of like stretching. So what do I do now?
Now you rest. You were under the water for almost half a day. It's good to take things slow, like you said.
She's like, oh, it's no problem. Yeah, doing some more stretches. He's like, you've been underwater far longer.
she kind of just gives you a little smile at that, and she's like, you are your parents' son.
His eyes kind of twinkle. He feels he's probably showing pride on his face right now.
Well, come on, Chewie. Let's go back to Moonfoam before it gets any later.
Okay. And he goes to follow Dashi. And he's thanking whatever god that he didn't get attacked by the Kraken.
From a winged hero to an adventurous sword singer, we now instead go to the following morning after these events, back over Mirror Depths to a village known as Littlebrook, one so small it often isn't even marked on the region's maps. The young man Theo Redstone lives here, helping his aunt and uncle maintain their farm. Currently, he is inside a chicken coop with his aunt, looking for a missing rooster that has escaped from its pen.
Hi, it's me, Theo.
No!
I'm just kidding.
I won't
I'm
allow
sorry.
that.
I'm sorry. I had to break the ice.
You're good.
No, that's not Theo's voice. So he is looking around for a chicken. I guess he would investigate?
Yeah, investigate. You hear your aunt kind of near you just going, where the hell did it go? Where the fuck?
What's the chicken's name?
Or a rooster. You're looking for a rooster.
Oh, what's the rooster's name?
I want to name it something stupid.
You're just like,
Cockaroo.
what?
Cockaroo.
Cockaroo. Okay. So investigation. Investigation.
Yep.
Okay. So that's 12. And Theo's just like, going cockaroo! Where did you go?
Your aunt is kind of looking around. You see her just straight up just going to the sleeping hens and just picking them up and looking under them and around them and then putting them back down. And they don't even wake up. They're used to this at this point. This rooster gets out all the time and has hidden in various places over the years. And she kind of comes up to you, rubbing the back of her head, and she's just like, well, did you talk to your uncle at all this morning?
No, I kind of ran out before doing much inside.
You know that guy. Sometimes he likes to take cockaroo inside for special treatment because he's the only rooster left.
Oh, well, I don't blame him. I would probably do that too.
Yeah, but he's got to be out here, The hens are very lonely, and as she says that, you just see one of the hens kind of like put its head back and just go, ah.
Yeah, Theo relates to that chicken, that hen. He's like, yeah, I guess we should probably get him back here, huh?
Yeah, we need to get a new rooster. If we lose one rooster, we're never going to get another one.
Well, I would prefer to keep the one we have. And he's like getting up, brushing his knees off, because he was like looking around. So he's like getting up and brushing himself off, and he's like, I guess I'll go check on Uncle Oscar.
Okay, you do that. I think he was out around the other side of the house earlier, if you want to go check there.
He nods, and he goes to scamper off to see if he can find cockaroo.
Yeah, as you go, you hear your aunt kind of like making like clucking sounds inside the barn, or not the barn, inside the chicken coop as you walk around.
This is normal. He scampers off and he goes around the house looking for Uncle Oscar.
You find your uncle kind of sitting in a rocking chair with like a hat over his face, leaning back, very loudly snoring on the front porch.
Blink, blink. He looks around to see if cockaroo is anywhere.
Roll an investigation check again.
Oh, snap. 14.
You see some loose feathers kind of on your uncle's chest.
He gives like a little smile to himself. I just had the fleeting thought he ate it. I'm sorry.
Just ate the whole fucking rooster. Oh my god.
Sorry. Anyway. He is a little not.
Oh my god.
I'm crying.
I'm gonna put these stupid memes on the screen so people know what we're laughing at.
Okay, so he gives a non-humored smile. He gives a calm smile that he is like used to this being the case, not having eaten the rooster. And he wouldn't want to wake up his uncle. Is there any other evidence around?
The feathers kind of trail off, you see, and go further around the house.
Okay, he'll follow the feathers.
Alright, so as you are going, I want you to make another investigation check. Damn.
20.
Okay, as you are going and you're following these trail of feathers, at a certain point the feathers kind of stop and they go off to the left in a different direction, but then a different trail starts. You see kind of like splatters of blood on the ground leading in towards the barn.
He's worried about cockaroo. But like if feathers go one way and blood goes the other.
Yeah.
The blood is a little more pressing, you never know what that means. He'll follow the blood cautiously. And, he has a crook. I believe I decided on that.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so he has one of those cute little shepherd crook things. He has that as his quarterstaff. So he's basically holding that kind of like not fully in attack mode, but like he's on edge because blood.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll follow the blood to the barn, you said?
Yeah, it goes into the barn.
Okay, so he'll pretty much stop outside of the door to the barn. Can he listen? See if anything...
Yeah, you can do like a perception check.
Oh, another 20.
You hear something rustling around inside the barn, like the hay kind of being like moved around. Couple grunts and things occasionally, as whoever or whatever is inside seems very big.
Okay, he currently is assuming wolf because they are a farm with animals, and he can't have a wolf around. And he's a strong boy, so he'll sort of inch forward, kind of creak the door open a little using his little crook thing.
You kind of open the door just a titch to look inside, and you see what appears to be a very pale tiefling, just covered in marks and like scars and just blood kind of dripping down his face inside of the barn. Looks like he's kind of trying to stop some of the bleeding with some of the hay in the barn.
That's so sad. Theo also thinks that's sad, so he's gonna cautiously still open the door a little further, and he's just going to be like, hello?
Don't. I'm sorry. I'll get going.
No, what's wrong? Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to be here. I'll get out of here. I'm sorry. I just need to catch my breath. That's all.
Wait a second. He'll lower his crook and go. He'll move in, not too fast. And he's like, "What happened to you? Are you okay? What's wrong?"
I don't know. I don't remember. Look, I don't mean you any trouble, please. I can get gone real quick.
No.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be here right now.
Don't worry. It's not. Calm down. He'll get closer and he's like, "Here, I can help you actually." And he'll sort of reach out, and he does have cure wounds.
Flinches real bad.
Yeah, he also flinches when this mysterious tiefling flinches. And he's like, "No, it's okay. I can help you."
I want you to roll a history check, Theo.
History.
Uh-oh.
18. Oh no.
18. Okay. In all of your life, you have never seen a pale tiefling before. But you do recall that you have heard about them before in school.
You went to college!
I went to college.
I will send you just a screenshot of the timeline of what you know about pale tieflings.
Who is this mysterious man?
I don't know, but I almost said his name.
Who is this mysterious?
Burdened individual. Please let me help you.
How bad would it be if he just went with the first name that like he heard, and Theo was like Cockaroo, and then
That's me.
Theo goes out to find Cockaroo and he finds this.
He's like, "You're not Cockaroo," and he's like, "I am now."
in your private chat, Shayna.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. That's troubling.
And this is the only place you've heard about them from school.
That'll flash in his mind, and then he'll get very worried, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, how did you get here? What are you..." And as he's like asking this, he is like healing him for a whole 6.
He looks fucking confused as hell when you do that. He like looks like to you with like a furrowed brow and it's like, what are you doing?
You're clearly hurt. You're bleeding.
You don't gotta do that.
Well, I want to, and he's going to do another heal. 7.
I'm sorry. You don't gotta burden yourself with all this, really. I didn't mean to invade. I wasn't sure if anybody was here or not. I'm sorry.
Burden? You're obviously the one in pain here.
Looks so fucking confused. He's just like looking at you.
Like, you ain't scared, or you ain't why
Why would I be scared? And he'll do another heal with the bigger spell, and that's 15.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the biggest one he can do right now, though.
I appreciate it a lot. I'm sorry I'm making you waste that on me. Really, you don't gotta.
It's not wasted. How are you doing? Is it doing any better?
Is it? Looks itself over at Cassidy?
I would say you're fully healed, yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit.
You're just kind of covered in dried blood and stuff now.
Yeah, kind of like looks himself over. The hands like shaking, like,
I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks like they're all healed up. I'm sorry. I'm out of it right now. I'm not quite sure where.
No, it's okay. Do you want to come inside? It's much more comfy than the barn.
Are you sure about that? I don't want to.
No, I insist. And he'll try to help him get up.
hesitantly allows.
As you both kind of get up, you hear the sound of feet running and loud squawking as you see your aunt kind of run past the barn, not looking into the barn, but just holding the rooster above her head. It's just like, I got him! I got him!
Oh, he fucking jumps so bad at that. He fucking jumps and moves back immediately to that corner he was in. He's like...
He sort of gasps at this mysterious tiefling's reaction, and he's like, "What? No, don't be scared. It's fine. Are you okay? Is something really wrong?"
I don't know. I'm fine. Sorry. I just scared me. Is all. That's all. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's okay. He was yelling pretty loud.
Hesitantly gets up again and follows Theo slower.
Yeah, he'll sort of go pretty much next to him, trying to help him along, even though he's healed up. I mean, he still looks like shit, so... Yeah. So he, helps him along, and I assume they reach the barn doors,
yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
He looks around. Where did Auntie go?
She currently looks like she is on the ground right now, she's, using her full body weight to try and stop this rooster from getting away, and every now and again, scoots forward, and she's, grabbing it and being dragged by it.
Auntie Alice, you don't have to be so rough!
He's trying to get back! He's trying to return to nature!
He does give a little laugh, and he's just like, it's nothing to be scared of. It's just my aunt and one of the roosters.
she notices that you seem to be kind of like talking to someone. And when she sees him, she kind of just fully lets go of the rooster. He seems surprised that she let go and just kind of like somersaults forward and just lays there, squawking. And she kind of looks up and she's just like, something happen? Who's this?
This, and he like looks over to Tiefling, and is like, well, I just found him in the barn. He was really hurt. What's your name?
I'm sorry, miss. I don't mean you any trouble, really. I'll get out of your hair.
No, you're fine. She kind of stands up and kind of starts walking towards you, kind of looking you up and down with like a concerned look. She's like, you sick or something?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't.
Well, Theo, why don't you go start up a bath, okay?
Okay, I'll go do that. My name is Theo, by the way.
Brandy.
It's nice to meet you, Brandy. I'll get a bath for you right away. He's gonna go scurry off to do that.
I'm here crying out for you, so you'll find me at last and wipe away our past. Even now, falling towards something beyond this new script. The show starts without stars. I'm here crying out for you, so you'll find me at last and wipe away our past. Even now, falling towards something beyond this new script. This show starts without